Hundreds of drones hummed through the darkness like metallic insects, their engines whispering across the desert winds. Radar screens in command centers from Tel Aviv to Washington flashed with warnings. Satellites watched silently from orbit as the first wave crossed invisible borders that in the White House Situation Room. Donald Trump leaned forward in his chair. The room was dim except for the glow of giant digital maps stretching across the walls. Red icons blinked across Iran, blue ones across Israel. White lines traced the flight paths of drones slicing through the night. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then the alarm tone sounded again. Another wave detected, a military analyst said. Trump stared at the screen. How many? Possibly hundreds. Maybe more. Outside the White House, Washington was quiet. But thousands of miles away, the Middle East was burning with movement. Radar stations lit up. Anti-aircraft systems rotated toward the sky. Interceptors roared upward. Missile trails streaked like comets across the darkness as a general stepped forward. Mr. President, Israel confirms drone swarms moving toward multiple targets. Trump didn't look surprised. He had been expecting this. Days earlier, intelligence had reported something unusual. Iran's drone factories had been working around the clock. New weapons were rolling out faster than analysts could track them. Commanders warned the sky itself could become a battlefield, and now it had dot on the screen. Dozens of dots appeared over the Persian Gulf. Another officer spoke. They're spreading across the region. Some toward Israel, some toward U.S. bases. Trump's jaw tightened. He had spent years building his reputation on bold decisions. Deals, pressure, power moves. But this moment was different. This wasn't a negotiation. This was war moving through the air at 200 kilometers per hour. Launch interceptors, he said quietly. Across the Middle East, anti-missile batteries fired almost instantly. Explosions lit the sky as drones were destroyed mid-flight. But more kept coming. Dozens, hundreds. The analysts began to realize something terrifying. This was not just an attack. It was a swarm. In Tel Aviv, sirens screamed across the city. Families rushed into shelters. Soldiers watched radar screens as waves of drones approached the coast. Iron Dome batteries fired repeatedly, intercepting targets one after another. Yet still the sky buzzed. In Washington, Trump folded his hands. Where did they launch from? Multiple sites, the intelligence director replied. Iranian territory, possibly underground facilities. Trump nodded slowly. For years, intelligence agencies had warned about Iran's hidden missile cities, vast underground complexes storing weapons. Now those hidden arsenals were waking up. The Wall Street Journal. The president turned toward the generals. Israel wants authorization. Authorization for what, sir? Trump looked back at the glowing map. For everything. Hours later, the response began. Israeli jets thundered across the night sky. Long-range missiles fired from submarines deep in the Mediterranean. U.S. bombers lifted from distant air bases. Targets appeared across Iran. Missile launch sites, drone factories, command bunkers. The first explosion struck before dawn. And with that, the war truly began. The news spread across the world within minutes. Stock markets trembled. Oil prices surged. Governments held emergency meetings. But inside the Situation Room, there was only silence. Trump watched the map as explosions appeared one by one. Someone whispered, "Strike confirmed." Another officer spoke. Second target destroyed. Then a third. Trump finally leaned back. He had made his decision, and the sky over the Middle East would never look the same again. But the war had only just started, because somewhere in the darkness, far below the desert, Iran's commanders were already